Segunda parte de la conferencia de EA. Vamos a ver cómo va. La gente reacciona y comenta. Porque pues vamos a ver, tío, qué es lo que ponen. Y el... Fofa. Fofa para todos. Para ti, para mí. Para tu tío. Darira. Warning, contain flashing imágenes.
What's going on, FIFA fans? I'm Golden Boy coming to you live from the Volta pitch here at EA Play. Now, I had a blast actually hosting a FIFA Ultimate Team Champions Cup
FIFA Street DLC.
FIFA 19.
Sí, de FIFA Street sí me lo compro.
About FIFA 20. Now, if you caught the brand new trailer that dropped this morning, you already know that Volta Football is a new way to play, returning football to the street. FIFA to the streets. You like that? All right, now, for those of you
Concha tu madre, dime que FIFA Street, ese vale la pena. Ese sí vale la pena, Serrano. FIFA Street. Por favor. Por favor, por favor. Y que venga con RPG. Ahora pateas más fuerte. Uy, uy, uy. 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 Uy, Serrano. Uy. Yo sí me compro el juego de FIFA Street, Uy. Uy. Volta Fútbol. FIFA 20. Break new what?
Now, in a bit, I'm going to be chatting with Sam Rivera, the lead producer at FIFA 20, about some of the new gameplay features that are going to be coming to FIFA 20. But first, we go across the pond. Last week, singer-songwriter and Fulham footballer Chelsea Grimes caught up with some special guests to give us the details on Volta football and the culture that inspired it. Check it out.
With Volta producer Jeff Antwi and Manchester United and England legend Rio Ferdinand to talk about a subject close to my heart, street football. Okay, so Rio, we're here in London, your hometown. Cage football, street football. What was your memories and experiences growing up? Did you play a lot of it?
This was where I grew up. This is exactly what I've done day in, day out. In there, the ball never goes out of play. Physically, it's demanding. You're forced to almost have a personality and show a personality in there. Do you know what I mean?
There's definitely no hiding in there.
Oh no, you can't hide in there.
So I used to play in the street with all the boys, and it was kind of the same. You know, we'd learn how to bounce it off the curb and use the walls on people's houses as another player. What was it for you that made you want to bring it even into the game?
For us, it's a return to street football for the FIFA franchise, and we're really excited about being able to, be in places like this, where it's rooted in the real people, the real places. Authenticity, creativity, culture are all things that we wanted to bring to Volta.
Look at that guy's footwork.
Yeah, the footwork, it's amazing. That's what you can do in Volta, though. So that's part of the detail in the gameplay.
So you can do all these mad tricks like this.
Well, just being able to be really skillful with the ball at your feet. Whether it's a classic futsal drag, or being able to play it off the wall to yourself to beat your opponent, or flick it up over your head to create space for on goal.
Can you use that with the players from like the professional teams?
Absolutely. So obviously with FIFA, we want to make sure that authenticity is at the forefront. So you can play with or against the real players, all the licensed players that we have, all the licensed clubs.
Güey, yo estaba emocionado, pensé que iban a sacar FIFA Street, man. Ese sí me lo compraba, pero vamos a ver qué pasa, man. De repente, como dicen en el chat, van a poner un modo de juego, man.
It's physical and technical, it's mad. I've played on loads of different places. Where is there to play on the game?
So obviously with Volta, it's the world's game, and there's so many locations that you can play with, from a rooftop in Tokyo to a London cage like this.
Creo que sí van a poner,
vamos a ver. So, you know, we want to make sure that what we're building is, you know, real to the space.
Vamos a ver qué dicen, nada.
Where's the like craziest place you play football?
I was actually in a camp in LA, and I played a bit of soccer there, which I've never played it there before. The pitches are a lot nicer than when I grew up playing in Liverpool. What about you, Rio?
Maybe in a favela in Brazil. I went to the World Cup in Brazil. My first one I did as a pundit. I managed to go into the favelas and have a little look. It was crazy, man. And amongst that was just like a pitch in the middle of it, in a cage. A bit like here, but it's just different setting.
Right. What type of football were you playing?
We played whoever was there. So you just play with the numbers you've got. If there was 3v3, fine. If it was 5-a-side, not a problem. Yeah. So
what's great is that's Volta. Being able to play 3v3, 4v4, 5v5, playing with goalkeepers, playing without goalkeepers, you know, playing in a cage like this, or playing futsal, you know, with more authentic rules. I think Volta does a really good job of representing the diversity of the game, not only the people, but also in the game.
Pero que digan si va a ser un modo gratis de FIFA 20, va a ser un DLC, ¿qué es, man? Puta madre.
You know, like these guys are being...
Ese Raylor pura huevada pone.
Such a diverse game, and for millions of people around the world, streets is their stadium. So for you guys, like, what are some of the fundamental things that you take away from the streets, and what translates to the stadiums?
Small-sided games, three versus three, 5-a-sides. I grew up in this environment. I think it enables you definitely to be able to deal with people 1v1, because in a game in a stadium, in front of thousands of
la vieja ni
people,
entiende ni madre, está
like
la clásica de
me
vale
spaces.
madre, man.
So you getting used to that in this type of environment is, I think, for a young player, is key.
Having a personality, not being afraid to try something new here. And obviously, you know, eventually you can go and put it onto the big stage. So I think this is like, yeah, you go and express yourself.
I think definitely the word, that key word, express. If you can express yourself, you see the best in everyone. I think individually, as a team.
You know, street football is, for a lot of people, it's foundational. And it translates to, you know, the stadiums. And for Volta, that's kind of how we've built the gameplay experience. And so we're really excited about what we can, you know, represent, and being able to represent the flair and the style that you guys just talked about.
I think a lot of people as well used to always associate like skills and flair without the end product. I think that's what's great about this game, is that end
La
product.
puta madre, el grano, man. Va a ser un DLC, va a ser un juego aparte. ¿Qué mierda va a ser ese stream, man?
Can you create female players?
Absolutely, I think that's one of the biggest innovations. You can play male or female.
Es que sí me interesa el FIFA Street, güey. Lo jugaba bastante en Play 2 también.
When you go and play in there, not everyone turns up in a pair of shorts, boots. Can we have like jeans, like cut downs that I've got, or
you can have, you know, t-shirts and shorts, or you can have jeans and long sleeves. Again, a big thing for us is, you know, being able to establish the culture that is street football through clothing, through how you look, your personal style. You can have short hair, long hair. You can have tattoos, no tattoos. You can play with trainers.
Okay.
A lot of the time as well is like, it's not only you want to look good, you want to feel good, play good. Yeah. In some of it's superstition, like it's all of that all in one. If you can get that into a game and transfer that and translate that into the cage, you got it made.
That's a big part of Volta football, just being able to represent the people as they are. You know, we want it to be authentic, we want it to be diverse.
Aguante, levanta, no se
We
desesperen.
want it to be cultural and creative, and a lot of that is, you know, how you equip yourself and how you carry yourself and how you represent yourself in the game.
Jeff, thank you so much. Rio, it's been a pleasure. I can't wait to play Volta, so I'll see you in the cage.
Well, there you have it. Volta football, pretty cool stuff there. Now, I can't wait to get my hands on it later this summer, but to talk to us about the exciting new gameplay updates and innovations that are going to be coming to FIFA 20. We have FIFA lead gameplay producer Sam Rivera here standing by. Sam, welcome.
Thanks, Alex. It's great to be
Let's give
here.
it up. Give it up for Sam.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. All right, all right. Pleasure to have you here, my friend. Now, here's the deal. I
Oh,
knew this
tiene mi
coming
mismo
into
corte,
this.
no jodas.
When they asked me to do this gig, I was like, listen, this is going to be a tricky one, right? Because FIFA has a very passionate community. I know this. I experienced this firsthand when I hosted that FUT Champions Cup. And you and I, we talked a lot about how important it's been for you to engage with the audience, with the fans, with the community on
Falta
FIFA 20's
45
development.
a ver.
So why don't we dive into that? Tell me about that process and how the community played a role in making this game a reality for you all.
Absolutely. Community feedback is a big deal for us. The combination of community feedback and football itself is what inspires us every year to keep innovating and to create the most authentic and fun experience we can. And we know we have a big community, so this year we actually talked to over 3,000 players, from pro players to new players, casual players, hardcore players. And because we know this is a two-way conversation, we released an important pitch notes article at the end of May, where we explain a little bit more about how we approach community feedback. So we listen to things like shooting inconsistencies or AI defending. And this feedback, together with our drive to create a more authentic football experience, led us to develop a new feature set that comes together as football intelligence.
Okay. All right. So catchphrases are all well and good, right? But let's dive into this, right? Because I want to be able to dive deeper into what all this means for the player. What does football intelligence mean for the folks that are going to be playing in a few months?
Sure. Football intelligence is a combination of features that improve the three main components of the match. On the ball,
Torneo de
off
Mario
the ball,
Maker
and
2.
the ball itself. And this year we're innovating in those three areas. On the ball, we're enhancing the one-on-one moments by giving you new attacking and defending tools. Off the ball, with a re-architected game flow, we're giving players more time and space on the ball. And for the ball itself, we have a brand new ball physics system that elevates the authenticity on every touch.
Okay,
Habla
so you
sobre la
mentioned off the
pelota.
ball first. That's something that, you know, I'm assuming you're talking about computer control players there. And this is a big topic within the community.
I know.
How
Mándame
those
el link
players
del torneo de
interact
Mario
with you when
Maker,
you're playing the
Jockey,
game.
por favor,
So,
por Twitter,
yeah,
por
I
Twitter.
mean, what is
Quiero
off the
ver
ball? What
esa
does that mean
huevada.
for us?
Yes, so off the ball, if
Por
there's
favor,
something
por
that
favor.
is really going to change how the game plays,
Okay.
is the re-architected game flow. This new game flow was designed to give more time and space to the dribbler and create
Por
more
favor,
one-on-ones.
pásenlo por Twitter.
A one-on-one is one of the most interesting parts
Yeah.
of football to watch or to play if you actually play the sport. And in FIFA, it's going to be the time where user skill is going to make a difference. And while we're creating more one-on-ones, we're also encouraging more user-control defending, and we are reducing the amount of AI defensive support that you get from your teammates.
Okay, all right. So you really want to like influence the player to be engaged in that
Exactly.
process. And I know it seems like we're kind of just like throwing questions out here, but you know, because I'm curious, I'm really interested, right? When I have a controller in my hand, you know, what does this feel like? You know, what extra space is being created with this more player-controlled approach?
Yes, first of all, the re-architected game flow allows us to encourage smart technical build-up based on skill. So when you score a goal, you feel like you really worked for it. And because you mentioned space, yes, spacing is actually one of the biggest benefits of this system. You will see how your teammates spread around the pitch in a more authentic way.
Ok,
allowing
dice
you to
FIFA
read the
20
game
llegará
better and
a
also
Play
giving
4 el
you
27
new
de
ways for
septiembre
you to
y
create
llevará el
your own
juego de
scoring
regreso a las
chances.
calles con el
And
nuevo
visually,
modo
just the game
Volta.
looks much more like real football.
Yeah.
O sea,
So
sí va a haber
my teammates
FIFA
are going to be way more helpful for me because Lord knows
Street,
I
o
need
sea,
that.
pero va a se llamar
All right?
Volta.
I think, you know, a lot of us feel the struggle there.
Así que ya lo sabe,
but
chaval.
now, what about the player, me, right? As I'm playing this game,
Volta.
what new tools do I have that I can put out there on the pitch?
Yes, so football is all about the decisive moments on the ball. And now that we're encouraging those moments, we're also giving players the tools to make sure those moments are in their control.
Okay.
So there's 4 features that I want to talk about. Composed finishing, strafe dribbling, control tackling, and the new penalty kicks and free kicks.
All right, so 4 big topics.
Yeah.
Let's just dive into this. Composed finishing, what do you mean by that?
Sure. We received feedback from the community regarding the difficulty to finish in front of goal.
Okay.
So in FIFA 20, with the new composed finishing, you're going to experience more clinical and consistent shooting when you're in a one-on-one with the keeper, for example. And if you try a more difficult shot, let's say a volley from outside of the box, then you're going to have more chances to miss. So overall, we are improving the fundamentals of shooting to provide a more authentic
Es
experience.
cierto, hay un torneo de
And we
Mario
also listen to
Maker.
feedback about time finishing, and we are very confident that the changes that I just mentioned to the fundamentals of shooting, in addition to some tweaks that we're doing to the actual time finishing mechanic, are going to give you a more satisfying shooting experience, whether you time your shot or not. We are actually
Gracias
just
por el
releasing
link,
another
Jockey.
Pitch Notes article about this topic. If you want to know more information, you can check it online.
Okay, so a whole topic just on this
Just on
alone, which is very dedicated there. Now, you also mentioned another attacking tool, which was strafe dribbling.
Yeah.
So how is this now going to play a role in how I play out
Yeah,
there?
good question. So we are reinventing the strafe dribbling mechanic.
Okay.
This tool adds more dimension in attack, giving you more control, more precise and agile control of the ball when dribbling. And I would say this tool is great
Es
to
cierto, hay un
lure
torneo de
your
Mario
opponent
Maker. De
in,
repente
and
me
then
voy a
when
dormir y
you
dejo
get
esa
closer,
huevada.
use your player's agility, speed, and skill to beat that defender.
So if it wasn't any indication, though, you know, I'm going to be on defense quite a bit. So
We'll see.
Because of that, as a defender now,
Yeah.
we're continuing to just run through these tools, these new gameplay additions that are coming to it. What about on the defensive front?
Yes, to counter the
Un
attacking
tip,
tools,
no me lavé
we
la
also
cara
need
el
to
día de
bring
hoy.
some
Me vine a
innovation
streamear.
into defending.
Y tampoco los
The new
dientes.
control tackling
Ah, mentira.
system, which
No, no me lavé
uses the
ninguno de los dos.
sophistication from the active touch system from last year, is going to improve your player's tackling ability to
Okay.
ensure you win possession back more often than ever when you tackle in the right context.
Okay, and then the most intense, nerve-wracking moment
Oh, yeah,
in
that's-
any game of FIFA. Me and my boy Rob, we went. This is a everyday thing for us. Penalty kicks.
Yes.
What changes are you making to penalty kicks?
We have brand new penalty kicks and free kick systems.
Okay.
So first of all, the aiming mechanics are completely different and more accessible. But obviously, we're keeping some elements of skill in there to make sure there's enough depth in the mechanics for those that want to be masters on those systems. And for example, in free kicks, you're going to have full control of the spin that you apply to the ball, and that's going to create your trajectory. So you can do side spin, top spin, no spin, or a combination of them. And that's going to be based on how you swing your right stick. And then you will see the trajectory. So you can go around the wall, you can go over the wall, you can do a knuckle shot, for example. Ultimately, these systems are more, they're more fun, you have more control, so that you feel like it's more rewarding. And you swing your right stick, and then you see the trajectory being created, and that's the cool part.
So, you know, for like us FPS gamers out there, maybe that's something that I can actually be good at, you know,
Yeah,
like
exactly
hit with the right stick. That's awesome. All right, so on the ball, talked off the ball, but the ball. That is the most essential part of the beautiful game. So what's new with the ball?
We have a brand new ball physics system.
Ahora
and the
la-
ball is at
la
the center
pelota,
of
a la
every
verga.
match, and the innovation that we're bringing to the ball this year just
Quiero ver que muestren los de Square Enix y los de Bandai, que ahora chambeo ahí.
How the ball behaves on every player
nuevo
contact,
code.
on every bounce, on every interaction, and how spin affects the trajectory of a shot, pass, or cross. So what you will see is more realistic player deflections, more realistic bounces. And if you do a shot, let's say a finesse shot, you will see maybe more curve. If you do a lace shot,
Juega más,
you will
puta,
see
qué
like
pendejo.
a deepening trajectory, a rising trajectory. There's more variety in general. So
Puta,
the
qué
entire
pendejo, y
experience
si
feels
juegas
fresh
más.
because of
Puta
these new
madre.
ball physics systems.
Trying to get that ball to bounce in fun ways.
la
It's going to create some interesting moments, especially for a lot of our top players out there.
Ese juego es
Now,
una
I know
mierda,
that a
man.
lot
What
of
the
fans, I'm
fuck
sure, are
contigo,
gonna be very
man?
excited to try out
Puto
these
juego
new features.
feo,
And
man.
since you have the eyes and ears of a ton of FIFA fans right now, the floor is yours.
Ese juego
Anything
está
else you wanna say to
horrible,
this
man. No sé qué
community?
le pasa a
Yes,
ese
so
huevón,
the features
man.
that I just talked about are very important, but there are many other
Vas.
changes that we're doing in FIFA 20, and a lot of them are based on community
Está
feedback.
horrible ese juego,
One of
man.
them is pace. We know that sometimes slower defenders can catch up with faster dribblers, so we're tweaking
Vas.
pace in FIFA 20. It doesn't mean that the entire game is going to be based on player speed, but it just means that player physical attributes are going to be slightly more important. We're doing something very similar for strength. And finally, for those players that have
Juégate,
mastered
vas.
the
Está
skill
bueno
moves,
eso, bueno,
we're
bueno.
obviously tuning some of them. Let's say La Croqueta.
Si tuviésemos 1000 viewers, te
we're
daría la
adding new
sub, pero no lo
ones.
somos.
Or
Ah.
if you like to chain multiple skill moves in a row, then you will get a more realistic outcome. We're working on those.
So you're
details
telling me
right
that Tex can't like bust out like 3 elasticals at the same time?
We'll
or-
see, but you will see new behaviors there.
Tex will still find a way. Tex will still find a way. Well, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Now, when can players get their hands on FIFA 20?
So it's going to be, September 27th.
Okay.
And there's some good news. If you have EA Access, you're subscribed to EA Access, you can get hands-on September 19th.
Wow.
Oh, yo tengo
okay.
EA
And then, of
Access.
course, you know, EA Access coming to PS4.
Exactly, that's good news. So PS4 fans will also be able to play FIFA September 19th.
All right, look at that there. And of course, all those details can be found online, so don't forget about that. It is a hot day out here. We've been talking FIFA. I've been having a blast. And Sam, thank you so much, man. Guys, give it up for Sam Rivera once again.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff. Now, don't forget, if you're in LA, come down to EA Play, try out FIFA 20 for yourself, or come watch some great street football competition at our custom Volta pitch. Keep an eye out because the FIFA team has a lot more to come between now and September. They'll be posting deep dives on the Pitch Notes platform. And you get more info on gameplay, career mode, pro clubs, Volta, and because we all know you want to talk about it, FIFA Ultimate Team. So keep an eye out for those. I'm Golden Boy. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.
See you later. A continuación, Madden. ¡Ale esa huevada! A esperar, banda. Vamos a ver qué puedo esperar. Aguanta, cholo, aguanta, Ahorita te salvo, Aguanta. Falta, vamos a ver. Falta. En lo que va llegando, Un ratito, causa. Acá, para no hacer tanto roche. Ahí.
Hold up for a while as well, too. And you mentioned working together, and another fact of this game that we saw earlier in the first course, the on-off switch. That might be implemented. Perhaps we see that more in these next couple of
Gracias al vato que me dio el dato. Te amo.
With the timing of things, you know, in a two-player mode, if you have on-off switches, one person might have to turn on the switch, the other person would have to adapt to what that changes in the course map. So I think that could be very tricky and very interesting to see in a game like this. But as Nine said, I think a lot of it's going to be coming down to timing and how well you communicate with your ally. So I think maybe part of the reason why Dragon Phoenix chose Yellow Killer Bee is perhaps, you know, they've been hanging out a lot throughout this weekend, so maybe they have some good synergy that might help them out at this next level.
Synergy, nice business word right there. I'll see that on my next PowerPoint presentation. And Nine, as you get set for co-op mode, and what we saw in this first course is, it's almost like you walk into a section of these courses and you have to perceive everything around you and figure out, how do I solve this puzzle? And now it's going to be implementing most likely that second part. It's not just something you can do by yourself while your partner kicks back and drinks some lemonade.
Well, you do have two people, so it should reason that you can now figure it out twice as fast or something like that. So the communication is going to be just as important as what's going on in the game itself.
And also just the execution of the different moves that Mario can do. We saw that with Cat Mario, some of these players struggling as well too. You have to be very familiar with these power-ups, and it looks like our teams are set to go. Round 2, our co-op course here at Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019. The Dragon Phoenix and Yellow Killer Bee taking on Abdallah and the Completionist. Let's get ready for the countdown here, folks. 3, 2, 1, and let's hit that start button here. As we said, it's co-op mode, Mario, Luigi, a little Super Mario World action here, Nine.
I know a lot of the competitors, when we were talking to them, said they are very familiar with this, so if there's ever going to be a mode that they will know what to do, this is going to be the time.
Early on, you see a bit of an obstacle here, trying to get to the top shelf. There's an on switch just staring.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Dragon Phoenix, Yellow Killer Bee, that figure it out. But now they've got to advance Luigi on the bottom. They're starting to slowly figure it out. Hitting those on-off switches, opening up the gates, allowing them to progress here, Vish.
Yeah, like we're talking about, one person is doing the on-off and the other person is just waiting. And in this particular moment, this is where the timing matters, right? Because he has to turn the switch on, and then the blue block will appear, and he has to jump on it. He has to do that 2 or 3 times, and they both make it to the second round at basically the same time.
A la verga, este está mejor que esta
Now you see a swinging crane floating at the top. They're trying to jump off of each other's heads to grab it, use those physics to advance. Oh, Dragon Phoenix and Yellow Killer Bee moving forward. But there is a P block right there. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that switch here, Nine.
The best prize that you could ever get at the end of a crane game. Dragon Phoenix and Yellow Killer Bee get in at the same time. I cannot believe how close this is already. And now we see the switches again. It's going to be very important that they identify this because they are both moving at incredible speed.
And you see Abdallah and the completionist slightly further ahead than the Dragon Meanie and Yellow Killer B. Don't forget, whatever team wins advances to the finals where they face off against each other. Abdallah and the completionist.
Venga, no sé qué chucha verme, de izquierda a derecha, tengo que ver a la izquierda ahorita, man.
Trying to jump up with that spring, advances Luigi on your right-hand side, just a few seconds behind here, Fish.
This is a really tight race. They are just neck and neck right now. They're really figuring out all the things they need to do and like throwing the POW block up there to get the spring. And now they just have one more little obstacle to complete here. They that's timing.
Past the gravy and past the POW block as that vine comes down. And Dragon Beanie, Yellow Killer B, they advance. Abdallah and the completionist, kicking it too high. It is exhausting having to grab a new POW block. Here comes another on.
El otro ya valió verga de la izquierda.
A lot of communication, it looks like.
This one is a little bit tricky. The last time that we saw this switch, it was a little bit more obvious what you need to do. Here, there's going to be some bouncing that's involved. You can't get to it with a normal jump.
Abdallah and the completionist now equal with the Dragon Beanie and Yellow Killer B.
Y ahora qué tiene que hacer,
we talked about seeing a puzzle in front of you and
what
do I do with all the tools at my disposal.
Tiene que saltar el otro, man. Ajá. No vas a poder, tienes que golpear la pendejada y el mer tiene que saltar a la derecha. ¡Épale! Eso tiene que hacer, conches. ¡Ahí! ¡Aguanta!
This looks precarious.
Well, they got to figure it out quick. Unfortunately, the right idea is not enough. You got to start.
Concha su madre, tiene que ser más rápido. No, ¿qué hiciste?
We talked about, Fish. You can have the right idea, but at the end of the day, your thumbs have to be in sync with your brain.
Yeah, I mean, in a speedrun like this,
you get
one try at most in terms of learning that kind of idea here.
Aguanta, tiene que ser rápido.
Because you have to start all the way from the beginning. Will he get the time?
Corre. Aguanta. Corre, Mario, corre. ¡Salta! ¡No! ¡Qué pendejo, man! ¡La cagaste, man! ¡Concha su madre, man! ¡La tenía, man!
No.
Puta madre, man. Y siento que me iba de la izquierda, man. Aguanta. Aguanta. ¡Ey, man! Lo hizo a la izquierda, man. Ya quiero jugar esta wea cuando salga, man. Dóname pecados, no tengo plata. ¡A la verga, man! Que los vatos de la izquierda, así que me fijo en zona.
Abdallah and the completionist. One room ahead on this course over Dragon Beanie and Yellow Killer B. They're going to give themselves another chance on the left here, trying to time things out. It looks like they might have figured this out.
¡Oh! Lo hizo! ¡Tum!
Taking the carpool through the tube. Is that going to be enough as you take a look
at
the trap here, though, 9?
It's a trap and also a new feature. They immediately go to grab each
other. ¡Casi lo hacen, man! ¡Concha su madre!
Abdallah and the completionist.
Aguanta, tiene que hacerlo bien. Aguanta. ¡Ey, bien!
Abdallah and that completionist. High five.
¡Concha su madre, man! Está más entretenido que la puta madre.
Fantastic execution, and you see all the things you can do in co-op play, Fish. How about the teamwork by those two?
Oh, man, you could really see the teamwork coming together as the course even progressed, right?
La vieja así, ya nos quedamos atrapadas.
Point with their timing. As soon as they got that one red-blue block at the start where you have to do it twice in order to continue the next one, I feel like they were totally in sync, and everything after that just kind of really smoothly came together for them.
In 9, it seemed like the difference in this course was how quickly Abdallah and the completionist figured out that one room where you've got to alternate the red and blue blocks and then time the double jump at the end. And they're able to rinse and repeat multiple times. Meanwhile, Yellow Killer B and the
Dragon... No todavía lo de Madden, ¿eh?
No, and it's remarkable not only how quickly they were able to adapt, but how quickly they figured out the exact timing that they needed.
Quita la conferencia, no, tengo que poner la conferencia,
These people know what they're doing, and that skull track room that they got through, that took them 2 tries.
Quita la conferencia, no está huevado. ¿Cómo estás? Saludos por la gente, bueno.
We do have to say goodbye to 2 of our competitors. Crowd, let's give a big round of applause to Dragon Beanie and Yellow Killer.
Como me gustan así, blanquiñosas.
They saw this game, and I'm sure they're going to just have a great time with it.
Puro chubi.
Month, but we do have a finals to get to, and it'll be 3 objective-based courses and then 1 finals course as well too. And this is where things get fun because now you've got different ways to finish courses here. You see round 1, the Dragon Feeny had the fastest time. She chose Yellow Killer B. However, Abdallah and the Completionist, with a bit of an upset in the second round, they'll pair off against each other in those finals. And as we said, the courses and the ways that you can complete them now, it's going to involve probably more puzzle solving.
Right, and this is a new feature that we have here, the ability to have clear conditions and then touching the flagpole or whatever it may be that's at the end of the level.
And there's different things that you can do. You can perhaps maybe collect a certain amount of coins, hit a P-switch possibly. So understanding that, and these are probably going to be shorter courses as well too, Vish, so less margin for error.
Right. I think taking your time with courses like this really will pay off because there's going to be little precarious traps as you go along, right? So, and there's going to be levels where you may have to like escort something, you may have to have an item along with you.
Super Mario World.
Coins, as you mentioned. So being very wary of what's coming up ahead while going as fast as you can is going to be really the crucial portion of this.
Well, let's get set for our first course in the finals, the first of 3 mini courses that are objective-based. So keep an eye out for
Falta un minuto para que empiece lo de... Tengo que ver lo de Ledilla, aguanta.
Abdallah versus the Completionist, course 1 of the finals. Let's get this countdown started here, crowd.
They were really chummy in the previous game, but now the gloves are off. Now they got to play against each other. Oh, look at
I see a firm crowd from the Completionist. He's ready to go. 3,
2, 1,
go! Roll here. Both players hitting that play button at the same time. Finals 1, a little Super Mario 3 here, 9.
Hey, we're going to get it coming up eventually, and it's going to be reaching the goal after hitting.
Hey, lo di, ¿qué pedo, man? Quiero ver qué.
Well, let's see what we have here. You go through the pipe, and there's a mushroom, and up. Just like airplane seats for me, too big to get through there, Fish.
Yeah, that's our first peek at the night mode feature that we have in Super Mario Maker 2. And it looks like there's twisters here as well, and we also have the little sandstorm feature, which is going to push you through that little area that's too difficult for you if you were a big Mario.
Abdallah trying to figure out which jigsaw piece can complete this puzzle right now. Can't make it through that pipe as long as you've got those twisters at the bottom. Hits the on-off switch, trying to mess around with the twister on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, Completionist, knocks the twister off right there. Both players still trying to kind of figure out how this course works.
Right, and you called it a puzzle earlier. It absolutely is. And everything that you see right here is self-contained. Both of them have gone through the door. They've gone back through the pipe. Starting to figure it out, escorting that twister all the way to the end. Almost there. Have to get it to drop just one more.
You'll notice that twister.
Hijo de la pequeño madre, vete todo. La neta, vete.
Drops down for the Completionist.
Hijo de la verga.
Crowd is starting to kind of figure out this puzzle as well too. Now it just comes down to that execution piece.
Right. Yeah, I think both players are kind of figuring out the mechanics of this level and how to get the twister all the way to the left side there, and finally gets him all the way down, and that's gonna move the P block all the way there.
La concha su madre, mira eso.
Get it up. P switch ready.
Wait
a minute.
Concha.
You gotta. Don't you hit a P-switch when you see it, Fish?
You should hit.
He's carrying it like a watermelon at this point. Oh, he hits the P-switch. The Completionist, first one through the pipe. Abdallah still trying to hit it. Completionist.
Ganó, man.
At the end, and the Completionist wins the first course, giving him a 3-second head start in the finals already. And that's what we saw at 9, the ability to recognize.
Está nervioso, gordito. Está nervioso.
Well, talk about a margin for error here. They both actually did the same thing. They took the P-switch up to the block on the top right. The only difference is that the Completionist did not let the block.
Se la mama la banda.
Once it's up there, you can't have it. It's floating in the air. You're floating in the air. And we didn't see it there, but he actually had to reset the level anyway.
And it goes back to the mechanics of not only Mario, Vish, but the different traps and hazards you're going to see, understanding how those twisters work and how you can't go through the pipe. You can't go through if you're carrying anything.
Yeah, that's a new feature here in Mario Maker 2. So it just kept you all the way up there, and it's a P-switch. You got to hit the switch, man. All the twisters on the right side.
It's shiny. It's blinking you in the face. You got to jump on it right there. But the Completionist winning the first course of that objective course, as we saw, and really impressive work by both of them to figure it out. So let's go ahead and get set for our second course here between Abdallah and the Completionist. The Completionist taking the first one with a 3-second head start. They're ready to go. They're exhaling. They're ready to roll. Let's get this countdown started here.
Go!
All right, we've got our second course here and 9.
Finales,
what are the rules for this one here?
Reach the goal after grabbing
grabbing all 100 coins. You do have to reach the coins, in fact 100 of them, and you see right there, that flag is not yet there. Let's hop into the pipe and see what we've got.
And also, what genre are we working with here so they're familiar with the controls?
Yeah, this is Super Mario World 3.
Tiene que agarrar las... Puta, yo soy bueno para esas huevadas, men. A mí métame, puta madre. Yo soy muy bueno para ese tipo de... ¡Ey! ¡Te metes la moneda, pendejo! Puta, está bien fácil, men. ¿Por qué yo no juego esa huevada, men? ¡Wii! Wait,
that's 90 coins right there. Needs to find 10 more. And as you look up to the top of your screen, another new feature, 10 coins in one. You saw a few of the blocks get broken right there. I think Abdallah already knows. It's just on execution, but watch out. The completion is not far behind, but that's all 100.
Abdallah now just has to descend to the bottom and all about grabbing that bag and going.
Está bien, Lelo.
Working with the physics on this level, he traversed this so quickly because it was tight timings to do those little wall jumps and make.
¡Qué pendejo este concha su madre!
They were just friends in the previous game.
Hijo de puta, wey.
Okay.
Up here at the Super Mario Maker 2 invitation.
Buena, pinche.
Friends are now foes. Abdallah rubbing it into the face and beard of the completionist right there.
Qué
That
pendejo,
nod that the completionist gave was not a happy nod. That was all right. We got one more. Yeah, let's see who gets the lead.
That's a you cut me off in the buffet nod right there. No, thank you. 1-1 is the score now, so neither player with a head start in the final course we'll get to. We're ready for course number 3. Let's keep this action rolling here, crowd. You know what to do when that countdown begins. Let me hear you sing.
I gotta say, these levels are so creative. I'm really enjoying it.
2, 1, go!
Third objective-based course here. 9, go ahead and break it down for us.
Reach the goal while riding Yoshi. I know there's some Yoshi fans in the crowd. Come on, who doesn't love him? Right at the beginning, you get to jump on him, but it looks like there is a world of pain waiting for them.
A lot of sauce, and that's not something Yoshi likes. Yoshi bouncing up the cannonball on the left-hand side for Abdallah. Slight lead, hits the off switch. I wonder what comes out of there. Avoiding the fire, but a
la pinga.
sends him straight into the spike.
Oh, perdió.
Losing a life right now.
Voy la derecha.
Able to move forward.
La derecha.
Sees some dripping water. Avoids the icicle.
No. La dona, cholo.
Pink bumper knocking him off, and you got to be careful here, Fish.
Yeah, that being said, I feel like the completionist really went through that stage quite fast. He was able to duck under the saws really well, carrying the momentum while he slides. And then he also went through the ice.
Se le escapa a Yoshi a la izquierda.
Now he's already on the second part, and we're going to see seesaws here. You have to make sure to put your weight on the right
Ya ganó, no, hombre.
And jump. According to completionist, finished that so fast.
Under a minute. Completionist not rubbing it in. It's all business. You see the collar. You see the suit jacket right there. He'll take a 3-second head start into our final course. And how about that? Dancing around the hazards throughout that entire level 9. Nearly a flawless finish by the completionist.
We didn't even get to talk about the mechanics of that level there. I was going to say, well, you know, if you bounce off Yoshi, he can run around and you can jump back on him. The completionist said, no, I'll keep my dino the entire time. Let's just run through this. No problem whatsoever.
Prehistoric preservation by the completionist right there as we move on to our final course. And as we said, a 3-second head start for the completionist. And so it seems like these players are getting more comfortable. These courses are flying by much quicker as they get more invested in this game. And you'll see the finals, the 3 minis plus 1 final, the completionist taking 2 out of those 3, which means you have a nice, comfortable 3-second head start. But as we know, sometimes 3 seconds isn't much time in these final courses,
Potentially. In those last couple of games, though, they were like pretty neck and neck, and some of them are speeding through it like we saw completionists. So 3 seconds might actually be make or break in this last game we're going to see here.
Let's get set for our final course of the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019. Crowd, let's get this thing rolling. The completionist taking on Abdallah. One more course to determine who will be our champion this year.
Ahí va a estar la final. 3, 2, 1, go!
Let's get set. Oh, the completionist hitting the start button first. Obviously, you get that 3-second head start, so that's great right there by Abdallah. Honoring that, and of course there's going to be lava here, 9.
Of course there's going to be lava, and this was the one that we hadn't
La
seen
final.
yet. We're taking it back.
Perdió el huevón.
¡Epa,
no pierdas!
Neither one of them clearing it so far.
Yo, corre. Aguántale. Épale. Mira, que no juega Ladín, puta madre. Corre. Abajo ahí. ¡Ah! Conches. Corre, pendejo. ¿Por qué hiciste, güey? Güey, se podía correr. ¿Por qué chucha no corrió? Se podía correr.
meets the same
Puta
fate. They're
madre.
gonna start again. I'm starting to think those 3 seconds may not matter too much.
And Vince,
Verga,
this is where
man.
rinse repeat becomes very important because you're going to get back to the same part that you stumbled against. How quickly can you get back?
Corre
to that
nomás,
same
corre,
area?
corre. Ajá, corre, ahí está, ve. Corre, pendejo. Esta madre, qué desconfiado. Ay, ay, falta llave, bebé.
And he's Abdallah's already.
¡Oh!
The spike said the kind words of Dikembe Mutombo. No, no, no.
Este sí es mi juego, este sí se juega, está muy bien, man. Corre, corre, rápido, rápido, en putiza, ratiza, wey. Wey, tienes que correr. Corre, corre. Corre nomás. Ay, ¿para qué saltas, puta madre? Él anda saltando, tienes que correr, concha tu madre. Tienes razón que no está mejor, wey. Corre. No, hombre, me está bien pendejo, wey. El de la izquierda la va a hacer chido, wey. El otro tiene más huevos, el Abdallah, wey. Ve, corre, corre, corre nomás, corre, porque tienes miedo, sin miedo, wey. Aguanta, tiene que tener cuidado ahí, man. Boom. Ahí, go. No, ya vas a perder, No, no, es que la cagó, la pensó mucho. No, ya le valió madre el gordo. Ah, ya. Corre, corre, concha.
Here comes another interesting part. Has the icicles falling, staying on the moving platform, but
oh.
Thank goodness for
El Abdallah, no, aguanta.
He's tiptoeing on this moving platform.
Conches, no, ¿qué hiciste? ¿Por qué retrocediste, cabrón?
This is tricky here now because those icicles are falling faster
Oh.
than the platform's moving.
Right, and I think Abdallah has already done it. You saw that he is starting much further back on the platform and just inching his way to the right, staying clear of them just a few
Ya
more
mero,
feet
ya mero,
and
ya.
gets to the next portion, but what waits?
Just like getting candy in the middle of the night, you have to tiptoe down the hallway. Abdallah moving his way up the spikes to some more swinging cranes. Tries to go underneath the icicle here.
Tienes que moverte, ajá. Ya le agarró la derecha, ya le agarró la onda ya.
Right. With the swing crane,
Despacio, despacio, aguanta, que caiga. Oh, tan hombre,
and then
man.
from there, able to get to the next swinging crane. So using all the physics of these new features in Mario Kart 2, and using the physics there to be able to.
Mejor pon el MAD, mucha presión, dice a la verga, man.
And don't forget, slopes just don't go downhill. If you're an optimist, they go up as well too.
Conches,
Here comes an interesting part with some vines and Abdallah being like Tarzan, just be very careful swinging vine to vine.
This is interesting. I think Abdallah's been the more aggressive of the two players, but here saying, all right, let's just get across this. If I fall, I have a long way back up.
Lo hizo gordo,
Wait a minute, I'm climbing this mountain too.
And Abdallah also saying one hazard he doesn't like, the solo spikes from the original Super Mario Brothers.
Oh.
Right there is those watermelon-looking bouncers making this climb to the summit just a little bit tougher. But Abdallah navigating that section. Now he has a slope with some springs here, Mish.
And they all mentioned how much they dislike springs. There's a lot of springs in this portion, and you fall all the way down if you end up messing up this portion here of the swing claw. This is very tricky. I think this is where risk reward really comes into play.
Arriba.
You don't want to fall all the way down and have to redo this entire course.
Completion is not too far behind, using those swinging cranes to make his way up the
Oh,
mountain.
tiene que, okay. Tiene que, esa va a tener que estar arriba. What?
Twister, a lot of components here, and once again, you have to be familiar with the mechanics of these hazards here.
Casi lo hace, casi, no.
Gonna try it again. Abdallah knows what he needs to do here. He needs to manipulate where that twister is and lower him on the seesaw. And meanwhile, on the other side, the completion is never far behind.
He's on the vine portion as well too, so we know he's hot on the heels of Abdallah. Abdallah just playing on the playground right now with the seesaw and the twister, trying to figure out how do I get up to that bridge. Another puzzle-solving component here, Fish.
Yeah, and I think he's finally
lo hizo.
all the way to the tippy top of that seesaw, and now he will make his way to the next portion of this sport pipe. But completionist not too far behind if you can figure out how to do these swing claws really quickly.
Checkpoint reached by Abdallah.
La mierda, despacio.
Trying to crowd the club. But it looks like Bowser has updated his home security system. A couple more obstacles.
Si puede, despacio. Oh, la lava.
This really is the puzzle here. Can they figure out the quickest and most efficient way? You see some spikes on top here. Gonna swing.
Salta los spikes, güey. Salta los spikes.
¡Ah,
ese no! ¡Qué pendejo!
You wanted to jump as high as you could on the crane. Not so much in this portion.
Have to watch your head, but you see the on-off switch will block the Goombas from coming out of the pipes. You have to navigate the fire breath coming in from Bowser. And this is where it gets tricky here because you saw those 3 icicles, and we always know 3 is the magic number here, Fish.
Right. I wonder
Ahí.
how many icicles.
Ahí se muere, se muere. Pa, pa, pa,
Okay, the
pum.
third one.
¡Oh!
You thought it was going to take 3. The completionist, though, getting ready to go down the chimney. And
Ya sé cómo hacerlo, ya se sabe, ya sabe cómo hacerlo.
Bowser's been working out. It takes more than 3 now. What's going on?
Bowser getting the gym, eating some
la
protein.
verga.
Getting some greens in his system.
Ya el gordo llegó, el gordo llegó, repito, el gordo llegó.
He's gonna take a stab at Bowser.
Chasuare, man.
Little did you know.
A la verga,
Icicles
man.
are a very interesting way to be able to hurt Bowser in this level. So that swinging claw, I think, is going to be very useful in how they are able to do even more than just the 3 icicles.
9, rinse and repeat as always. You know how to get on top of Bowser, but now you have to be very careful. Is it going to be 3?
Oh, se resbaló,
That's
man.
not the type of back massage you want right there. No. Bowser claiming the completionist. Abdallah trying to navigate things. He's already gotten a couple of icicles on Bowser. That's only 3, though. How many more does he need? 2 more going down. That's 6. That's got to do. No! It takes more than that, 9.
Oh man, the completion is doing the same. Abdallah has his method here. Can he get over? Barely clears it, and that Goomba almost ending the run. That's 9 icicles. That's still not enough.
Let's see.
De que le mete más hielo, mira.
More. Abdallah. 12. Unbelievable.
A la mierda, man.
Hitting the gym just like you, 9.
What's going on? How is it 12 hits is not enough for Bowser? Where has he been this whole time? He's been training.
The fire keeps coming. Bowser does not want to.
Cayó! ¡Cayó el Bowser!
Knocks out Bowser. Now he just has to navigate the swinging crane. A couple more icicles. Watch out for the sun.
Ganó.
Abdallah hits the axe. Knocks out Bowser. And that will do it as Abdallah is victorious. And he is your Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational Grand Champion.
What a
Concha
crazy
su
last battle
madre.
there. The way you take out Bowser was so creative. Super Mario Maker 2.
I think out of everything in that level there, 9, the thing that surprised people the most, the 14 hits to knock out Bowser. We're all used to 3, but 14 icicles to KO Bowser.
And I think it's so important to recognize how tricky the method that Abdallah was using was, because every time he jumped out, there was a chance that the RNG of Bowser's fire would be there. He almost hit a Goomba as well, and as we all know, every time Mario takes a trip back to the beginning of that level, it resets the health, and Abdallah standing at center stage right now, championing the crowd.
Well, we have a champion, and to present his hardware, everybody, please welcome the producer for Super Mario Maker 2, Mr.
Kennedy. Ah, no, eso también. Dale. Puta, le da su premio, mira, concha su
How
madre.
about that trophy right there, 9?
One of a kind, walking over there to get it. I know that this is exactly what they've been working for this entire time, and to be able to come out on top in the way that he has, just remarkable.
Abdallah, your
Campeón.
champion here, and Mr. Tezuka passing off the hardware there. A couple photos as well, too. Let's go ahead, toss it down to Mr. Tezuka.
El Mario de oro, eh.
改めましておめでとうございます。アブダラーさん。
Congratulations to you, just again.
本当はね、上の土管から登場したかったんですけども、ちょっと危ないからどうしてもやめてほしいということで、ここから出てきました。
So I was told by the staff that would be too dangerous, so they told me to stop.
素晴らしい試合でしたね。本当にどちらが勝つか分からなくて。
That was a really great final course you guys played, and I had no idea who was going to win right up until the end.
で私も日本でこのレベルを遊んでみたんですけど、全然クリアできなかったです。
So I actually played these courses myself in Japan, but I was unable to clear any of them.
制作者ですけども、このゲームのスタッフですけども、なかなかね難しいコースは苦手です。
So yeah, even for the staff of this game, these difficult courses are really tricky for us to play.
すごいスーパープレイでした。
So, but you were truly amazing. It was a super play that you put on display for us.
De la puta madre, espera.
でこのゲームを盛り上げてくださった皆さんも拍手を送りたいと思います。 このゲームを盛り上げてくださった皆さんにも拍手を。
And I also want to applaud you guys for raising such a good cheer for the entire play we saw today. Thank you. Applaud yourselves. Up here too.
このレベルは任天堂のツリーハウスのメンバーが頑張って作ってくださいました。
So these courses that you saw today were created by members of Nintendo's Treehouse.
このトーナメントのデザインもみんな彼らが考えてくださいました。
And they also thought up all the details for the tournament today.
これ皆さん遊んでみたいと思いませんか？
So would you like to give these courses a try yourself?
もうすぐこれ発売されますけども、その後、皆さんにも遊んでもらえるようにと今考えてます。
So this game is going to be coming out pretty soon, and we're thinking of a way to make sure all of you will be able to play these courses as well.
まだまだ、このステージは続きます。もっともっと盛り上がってください。
So we've still got plenty of entertainment for you. You're going to be seen on this stage, so keep up the energy, and we hope you're looking forward to it all. All right, thank you so much.
Put your hands together one more time for the producer of Super Mario Maker 2, Mr. Tezuka. And how about a round of applause for all of our participants, the Dragon Feeny, Yellow Killer Bee, the Completionist, and your champion, Abdallah. That'll do it for the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019. Don't forget Super Mario Maker 2 drops June 28th. So make sure you grab that. You'll get a chance to play some of these fantastic levels. But don't go anywhere. We've got 4 great Nintendo competitive action just around the corner as we get set for the Splatoon 2 World Championship 2019.
Concha su madre.
The theater at Ace Hotel.
y el EA, ¿qué pedo, man? Oye, el EA, esta madre, hijo de la madre. ¡No! Gato, gato.
Good afternoon.
Calla, Enigma.
From the theater at Ace Hotel in Los Angeles, California, as we get set for the Splatoon 2 World Championship 2019. 4 of the finest ink squads from across the world will be partaking, and joining me, I'm Jordan Kent, your Spray by Spray host, and we have 2 of the leaders of the Pearl and Marina fan club, Nine and Milano. Welcome to the big stage here. And Nine, as we get set for this action, we've had a chance to see this wonderful Splatoon community grow throughout the years, but there's some folks that are going to get their first splash of ink as they watch this championship here. Tell us a little bit more about why Splatoon 2 is so unique as a game itself.
Unique is the perfect word. This is a fast-paced, multiplayer, objective-based shooter. But unlike some other games, there's a mechanic called ink or turf. Putting that on the ground is going to allow you to move around. It's going to allow you to hide. All sorts of interesting things that we'll go into more detail as the games go.
Well, as always, we have to have rules. We can't just be running around here all willy-nilly. So let's take a look at the tournament rules for the Splatoon 2 World Championships 2019. Up first, we have our ink pools. Ha! See what we did there? Turf War. Teams will play 2 matches in a mini seeding bracket. After play, the teams will be ranked by their win-loss record. Then we move on to elimination mode, our semifinals. Best of 5, you see those ranked modes. Don't worry, we won't leave you in the dark. We'll explain those modes as we approach them. And then the finals, best of 7. You see all the rankings there. We will crown a champion at the end of this in the Splatoon World Championship. These teams, if you want to talk about high level,
la gente también quiere ver esta huevada, ven que la demás está chido, man.
Strategy will we see from these high level teams?
Well, Jordan, these teams are going to have to play at the top of their game. They're going to have to communicate effectively with each other. They're going to have to play and as a team like they've never played before. They really need to bring their all because they are competing against the best of the best in the world.
And you mentioned that magic word communication. It's important in all relationships in life, but also Splatoon 2 as well, 2-9. What are some of these teams going to be communicating to as far as each time they take on a match?
Well, the game moves entirely too quickly for one person to see everything. And also, as you mentioned, you can hide in this game, so it's all the more important that everyone is pitching in. If you see somebody coming from the left, maybe call out someone's coming from the left. If you're the backliner who's sitting back, identify where all of them are. It's the most important facet of an already hard game.
As we said, 4 of the finest teams from across the globe. Let's go ahead and take an early look at a couple of our teams that will be competing in this year's Splatoon 2 World Championship 2019.
Japón. Dos dientotes, la verga. Ingleses. Oh, son australianos, pensé que eran ingleses, perdónenme. Soy un ignorante de mierda.
There you have it, 2 of our first teams, Lime Soda representing Australia, New Zealand, and the GG boys from Japan. Let's start with Lime Soda and Milana. They had quite the journey, Lime Soda from Australia, New Zealand, to get here to these championships. Tell us a little bit more about that story.
So Lime Soda is a team that maybe has gone a little bit unnoticed in the international scene up until their 4-5 reverse sweep against Morning Sun, one of the top teams in the Australia-New Zealand region. They have fought hard to be here, and they deserve their place here. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some gameplay.
Very exciting action there, but 9, we would be remiss to mention the GG boys, your defending champions, led by 4 of the finest individual players that have now collectively joined forces to create a formidable team. What is needed from them if they want to hoist up the Splatoon Sterling Squid once again this year?
Well, they're going to have to be better than they were last year. And I know it sounds a little bit weird, right? They won last year, but everyone saw what that was. They are trying to beat what GG Boys was last year. The most important thing for them is, I think, identifying what weapons they want to play, because I know they've been in a bit of a flux recently, and you have to identify what's best.
And 9, we were talking about that as we were partaking in some physical fitness at the gym this morning, trying to stay healthy, about how this is probably one of the most talented championship setups we've ever seen. We've casted a couple of these championships. These 4 teams are stacked, though.
They are stacked. And I think if you watched last year's Splatoon 2 World Championships, I'll go out on a limb and say that every single one of these teams is better than what was representing them last year. And it's again because the game changes so quickly. If you stay stagnant, you are going to get left behind. This should be a lot of fun from the word go.
And Milana, we're starting with Turf War. So let's break down the strategy with Turf War. Obviously, it says you've got to ink as much turf as possible, but it's so much more than that.
Definitely. The game isn't really played the same throughout that whole 3-minute segment. You have to really focus on getting that middle ground. You wanna take control of the map. You want to turf as much as you can, and you want to make sure you don't die. It sounds kind of obvious, but you don't want to be left in a 3v4 situation.
And you mentioned getting splatted. It seems like for the first half of Turf War, there is an emphasis on splats. At least that's what we heard when talking to the GG boys.
Definitely. by taking out some of the opponents, you are able to make those pushes into their enemy base. You're able to control that turf for a longer period of time.
And 9, as we say, when the popcorn's finally popping in the final 30 seconds of turf war, what's the most important thing you have to keep in mind?
Hold the line, hold your position, set up, and whatever you do, do not let yourself be sent back to spawn. It is more important that you play cautiously and hold the ground that you've earned yourself over the first few minutes of play.
And 9, we oftentimes talk about team composition and different roles, because obviously all 4 players on a team aren't going to just go out there and do the same thing. You have to work together, you have to talk together, but they have different jobs on the team.
They do, and the most common ones that you're going to hear us talk about are front line, mid line, and back line. There are a lot of weapons in Splatoon, and a lot of them do different things, but in general, think of the frontliners as the playmakers, the ones who go up and get personal with the opponent. The midliners tend to be the supportive players. They're going to paint the map a little bit more. They're going to be up assisting, and the backliner, that's the anchor, and it's going to hold the ship down.
We're just a couple minutes away of getting started with our ink pools. You've got the GG boys, the defending champions from Japan, taking on Lime Soda, a strong team from Australia, New Zealand. And we're going to be calling out specials quite a bit during these matches here, Milana. But with the specials, there's a strategy that these teams use as far as when they want to use them.
Definitely. We want to see coordinated specials. You don't want to use your special by yourself because there's power in numbers. And in this case, there's
Está con la regla, está con la regla, está con la regla.
And you also look
Está
at
con la
the
regla,
advantages
el
as far as
renegón.
2v1s, 9. We oftentimes have this conversation because when you and I play together, I'm oftentimes leaving you in that one position because I get splatted. What's the advantage of having the cephalopod advantage, as we like to say on the map?
Well, Milana just said exponential advantage with putting 2 specials together. It is exactly the same here. If you can team up on someone, you're going to have a much easier time of taking that person out and moving up. And it's what these teams are going to be shooting for here. They know that if they can pincer somebody, if they can get some flanks, that's going to be how they get a very quick splat and move on to the next objective.
Like the pincer somebody right there as well, too. Hopefully they can scyther their way to the goal here. And you take
No va a gastar ni mierda, man, déjame ver.
toss that we had earlier on, and it looks like Lime Soda won the coin toss. They're going to choose Manta Maria.
Hey, the scenes.
A level you're obviously very familiar with here, 9. Manta Maria, what are some things you have to keep in mind on this map?
Oh. Aguanta, los scenes. Scenes 4.
Oh, you guys are great. Welcome, Simmers to EA Play.
Lo veo por Julia, nomás por Julia.
I'm very excited to talk about everyone's favorite game series, The Sims.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm Julia Hardy, and today we're giving you a guided tour of what's new with The Sims 4, plus a couple of fun surprises, so stay tuned. Now, to help me translate all of this Simlish, everybody join me in welcoming General Manager Lindsay Pearson and Senior Producer Michael Duke.
Hi.
Thanks so much for coming out, guys. So I'm super excited. I know you guys are super excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been with The Sims a long time, and this is one of my favorite things to do, is come out and see all of you and tell you exciting things.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's going to be a big year for us. It's actually, we're celebrating 20 years of making The Sims this year.
Yeah.
And Lindsay and I keep debating it, but I think this is going to be the best year yet.
I think it might be.
20 años
Well,
de Sims.
I mean, really what we want to know is, what have you got for us? Come on, tell us everything.
Of course. Well, it is EA Play. We couldn't come empty-handed, so we'll start with our big one first. I'll let you take that.
Absolutely. So we have the next expansion pack for The Sims 4, Sims 4
expansión,
Island
expansión.
Living.
Let's check out that trailer.
Yeah.
Expansión. Babies. Baby scenes. Dad. Replicate. Oh. La sirenita. Island Living on console.
I was just waiting for that one. Oh, that was so cool. And look, we're in our own little island paradise. Can I just say, I didn't know what the reveals were going to be, and I accidentally just wore this. Super weird. And obviously, you know, talking about fashion, there's a lot of island fashion there. One of the biggest things people absolutely love. What can we be dressing up as? What can we look like?
Absolutely. You know, to capture that island spirit, we needed to have a lot of new outfits and capture those colors.
Is my outfit going to be in there? You're going to put it in the game,
Not
right?
exactly that, but
What?
certainly those bright colors like you're showing off there. But, you know, we really wanted to add a lot of island wear, and that stuff you can stay cool in when it's so hot.
It's true.
Yeah. And we had to bring in a lot of new fun colors and patterns, but also hairs, accessories, everything to deck out head to toe to just chill and relax on this beautiful island.
I mean, look, that's some amazing fashion right there. But what if, you know, I'm getting a little bit hot. I'm not someone who likes to dwell on a beach too much. Yeah, what if I want to go in the water? What's going to be happening there?
So we're very excited. So for the first time in The Sims 4, our Sims are going to be able to walk right into the open water. And we're opening up
Yes.
open water gameplay.
Just been teasing the water.
Yeah.
At this point. It's there.
I mean, like you saw in the trailer, she walks right in. Our Sims are going to be able to do that, and you can snorkel in the water. There's swimming, floating, and there's also those pretty awesome aqua zips if you're in a hurry to get where you're going.
So what inspired you guys to introduce this kind of ocean gameplay this time?
Yeah, well, we've taken The Sims to a lot of different worlds and a lot of different places, but we hadn't yet really played with the idea of where the land and the water meet and really bring you into an ocean environment, which seems like a great addition.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, when I think of tropical islands, I'm thinking of, you know, like palm trees, ocean waves, relaxing on the beach. So, like, tell me more about this world. What can I actually do in it?
Yeah, so the island of Sulani will have all of those things and more. It really is the perfect place to unplug and enjoy this natural feel. So you can explore all these little alcoves. You can live closer to the coast. You can live higher up towards the hills.
Ya saben nadar los Sims. Ya saben.
There's an active volcano here.
Absolutely.
Sorry, you were selling me the dream of living on an island. Well, now I'm not sure I really want to go there.
It is a real island.
Most islands are formed by volcanoes.
Yeah.
Well, don't get nitpicky.
Yeah, so we had to put this active volcano in there. Now, you don't have to live next to it, but the riskier Sims may choose to live nearby.
Yeah, and then,
sometimes
Kel
it gets
Surprise.
angry.
Something
You got to watch out
terrible
for those lava
happens.
bombs.
Don't do it.
Like, oh, The Sims. I don't know how that was going to go,
what
but
do you
probably
expect's going to happen when you touch something really, really hot?
It probably burns.
Beautiful locale, slightly dangerous.
I mean, what other surprises are in store on this island? I mean, I, for one, want to know if I can befriend any.
Empezó.
Get it cracking here.
La primera ronda.
GG Boys taking on Lime Soda from Australia. New Zealand will go ahead and let you know what color each team will be as we get rolling here. Looks like Australia and New Zealand going to be in that neon yellow. GG Boys in that purple, and 9, tell us about the loadouts we're seeing early on.
Well, we said earlier that they didn't have a dedicated backliner, but it looks like the GG Boys have opted to bring 2. That there at the top, Dynamon and the custom Explosion, and Yamamichi using the custom Jet Squelcher, both very strong backline weapons. I think they wanted to get the jump on this.
And you take a look at the large mast in the middle of this map here, 9, and you figure that's going to be a pivotal point to control throughout Manta Maria.
It is. That's the most important part, and it's why we said the backliner is going to move up there. But the easiest way is to just not let them get there. Look how far Taiji and Etna are pushed up. Etna winning a 1v1 despite being in a bad position, and look how far they're pushed up. They have no fear at this point.
4-2 on the field for the GG Boys, and this is what you talked about, Milana. When you've got that numbers advantage, you want to push it.
Yeah, so
Qué putos es la
GG Boys
cubeta.
did not miss a beat. Once they took those members of Lime Soda out, they were all over it.
Will with the Slotcher up top, hops into the baller, not going to get anybody there, but spreads a little bit of ink. Let's take a look at Etna. Etna in the middle of a 2v1. That's what we talked about, 9. If Lime Soda is going to create upset, they've got to find those situations.
They did, and it was great. They're getting a little bit too aggressive. That's sometimes the punishment that happens. But look at this, a never-ending stream of pressure as Taiji continues to push up on what we call the snipe area. Will actually got the punishment there as well, so it looks like it's an even position here. I think GG Boys needs to hold back just a touch.
Big shout out to Czar on the spectator cam, doing a fine job following all of this action here, so we'll get a good look at everything that takes place. Will trying to climb up top. Here's Yoshiko using the ball points flatling right now, creating a little bit more pressure, and you start to see Lime Soda here, 9, really start to push into the GG Boys territory.
But what incredible movement there by Etna to come up, and that's another reason why you want to stay together.
Tómele.
Well, the people are watching your buddy. You can move up and get a splat there as well. But Gio getting a crucial spot in the center of the map there. He needs to hold this spot. Roaching there is just a little bit too much. I would have liked to have seen him hold that spot.
Yamamichi, meanwhile, trying to get to the mast here. You see, look at the map. A lot of yellow on the map here. Lime Soda applying some pressure as we get to the final minute here, Milana.
And remember what we said, it really comes down to that last 30 seconds. So even though it seems like it is going in favor of Lime Soda, really could still be anything.
Inkjet being deployed by the GG boys. Lime Soda trying to stay alive. Tai G trying to get a couple more splats. Gets Gio right there. Has his sights on Yoshiko. Yoshiko trying to run back, but huge splat by Yamamichi 9.
And that might be the splat that decides it here. You're going to see that the GG boys are going to set themselves up all together here to try to hold this one position. They know that's where the push is coming from. If they hold this spot, it's their game.
Tai G and the GG boys trying to create a bottleneck right now for Lime Soda. Yamamichi hanging back with that Stingray. 20 seconds left. This is a pivotal moment, as we said. Yoshiko and Lime Soda trying to break through the defenses of the GG boys, trying to give themselves a chance here. 10 seconds left, trying to stay alive. This is where it matters. 4-3 on the map for GG boys, but critical splat by Lime Soda. Putting in work right now. Let's see what the final tally is.
¡A la verga! Se chingó, eres en putiza,
my goodness. What does Judd say in his furry little paws? It's going to go to GG boys, though.
That was a much different score than I thought it was going to be. Not only did the GG boys held on, they did it by around 200 points. I thought that double splat there at the end by Yoshiko was going to do it.
And Milana, we saw Yoshiko and Lime Soda really put up quite the effort at the end, but it seemed like the GG boys really dominated the final 30 seconds, and that's what turned the tide.
I actually think it turned the tide just a little bit before because they were really.
Okay.
I think Lime Soda got caught up a little bit with the
culture
aggression.
of the island
that
we actually
GG
see within. Right. Yeah. This is a place
Te
that you
regreso.
live, and the locals are super friendly actually, and are going to come and help you out with all sorts of different things as
That's
you
definitely one of
explore
my
the
favorite
island.
things.
You were talking about this the other day, like actually, like all the neighbors are really, really helpful and help you.
You know, like if a fire happens to break out, your neighbor might bust in and help you put out that fire.
That's lovely. That's what
they're
good
so
neighbors
nice.
should do.
So, but they also have their own traditions, their own sort of activities that you might be able to join in. So you might stumble across a barbecue that they've started in town, or a little festival to sort of celebrate things going on. And you might even stumble into a kava party.
Regresar al aburrimiento. Aguanta, pero no está en la lucha todavía.
Kava is a special island drink that your sim can learn how to make and share with their friends on the island. It's one of the many delicacies you'll learn kind of exploring life in Sulani.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things we talked about was we wanted to have this island have a little history to it, just some sense of feeling of.
Ay, qué. A la mierda. Ersa. Team Europe Alliance Rugi. Ah, su madre. Oye, ¿eso qué son? ¿Mexicanos, canadienses, qué? Chuck. Kevo. Kevo, To the Ice. Team North America.
Well, that was our first look at Alliance Rogue representing Team Europe and then Team North America. FT Win and Milana. Let's start with Alliance Rogue, a very strong team from Europe. What do you like about them?
You can say that again. So I think that they are going to be.
Hasta que empiece el match. Vamos a ver si está
It
hueva.
feels really inspired by like Polynesian culture. So how do you kind of go about kind of educating yourself to like bring that into the game?
Well, every time we make a world, we want to learn a lot about the influences that could go into that place, because it's not a particular real place, but it's inspired by real places. So, short of flying there and researching it ourselves, we reached out.
Work that into it. I'm sorry.
Well, EA is a big global company, so we were able to reach out to a lot of our friends and coworkers across the company and say, hey, we're looking at exploring a place inspired by this culture. And could you share with us some patterns or iconography or symbols or even items that mean something to this culture, so we can try and create them in a way that feels rich and feels authentic.
Well, questions just like, what was iconic to you? Or what do you remember when you think back to living in that place?
Right, and some of our specific like decor items came exactly from those recommendations, which is really cool. It's these nice touches that I hope make it feel familiar while still feeling like a new Sims world.
Yeah.
So not to make light of all that, because I think that's fantastic, but I really feel like I've been quite patient up until this point, and you haven't really mentioned it yet. Mermaids! What on earth's going on? Come on, let's cut to the chase. Mermaids! Mermaids, tell us everything.
There are mermaids.
Yes, so mermaids are in the pack. And I know lots of players are going to be wondering, it is a very fully featured call. You can make them into casts, you can create and style your mermaid, lots of different tails. It's a lot of fun, but also, you know, the mermaids, they can do a little bit more. Obviously, they're very in touch with the ocean life. So, you know, I'd recommend your mermaid meet a dolphin. That might work out for you. But lastly, the mermaids have some pretty cool powers that you might want to discover.
Powers? Can we call them that?
Yeah, we could say mer powers.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what they are?
There's still a bit of mystery to the mermaids.
Like, don't ask me that.
They are definitely worth exploring. So I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on them.
So of course I would just love to keep talking about mermaids, but no conversation about the Sims would be complete without a chat about obviously interior design. So kind of what's new for the architects out there? New homes, new furniture. We saw some. I'm pretty sure we saw some houses on stilts as well over the water, right?
Yeah. So I think, you know, first and foremost, lounge chairs. We're gonna go to Island. We're gonna live the beach life.
I don't want to sit upright if I'm relaxing. I'm sorry.
No awkward sitting on the stage.
We had to bring the lounge chairs in, but then also a lot of that decor to really capture that Polynesian feel, right? And so we wanted to make sure there was that clutter that felt authentic and let it feel like this was home.
Yeah, and you can go for this more sort of local style cabana on the beach, or you can go for something a little more high end and modern. We really wanted you to feel like you could create the getaway of your dreams.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm so 100% sold on the houses over the water. I'm much more of a kind of modern sort of house.
Yeah, for sure. And you might have noticed too, she was able to jump right off of that deck out into the water, which is
the
great.
Best.
Like your perfect little escape.
Oh, yes, it's all good. I'm feeling the diving into the water vibe.
I know,
right now,
it's toasty.
I can't wait to check out, obviously, the...
And our good friend Nine will tell us what he's seeing here shortly. You go ahead and you see Alliance Rogue in the pink and FT Win in the blue. What are you seeing here, Nine?
Well, I see Ice on the splatter scope, and Ice might be the most important person in this entire tournament. When he is playing his backline at the level that he can play it, he is one of the finest in the world right here. He's going to be going up to the top that we talked about there. On the other side, Soren on that backline playing the custom splasher. We saw Dynamon show what that could do earlier.
Ice trying to freeze Alliance Rogue in their tracks early on, just 20 seconds in. Neither team having a major advantage. One splat on each side. 3-2 on the map. FT Win, but you see a couple of specials ready to go for Alliance Rogue here, Milana.
Yeah, so we see on both sides, we actually see a Neo Splash-O-Matic, which has a Bomb Rush special. Very good for covering turf for turf players.
And right now, the action continues to wage back and forth. 2:15 left, 4-3 on the map. Advantage Alliance Rogue. Kibber right now trying to take the higher ground, doing a fine job of covering some turf, and already Kibber getting to the top of that hill.
Yeah, and you saw the only person actually left up was Ice, who had to retreat all the way back. And right now, I think that both sides are trying to feel.
Le están metiendo la verga
traded some splats here. They've thrown some
a los norteamericanos, creo,
So much can happen in Turf War and things can change.
¿Quién ganará, europeos o Latinoamérica? Vamos a ver.
Back and forth, just being careful and precarious as far as what he's going to go ahead and ink. You see that point sensor coming down, but here comes Ice on that Stingray, Milana.
Ice is one of North America's best backliners, so his Stingray is definitely not to be
1:30 left in this match. 4-2 on the map. Alliance Rogue 9. Here comes one of those pushes.
That is, and if 2D can get this pick onto Urza, that's going to be big, but so slippery getting away. 2D now finding himself in the middle of 3 people. Sorry, but you're not getting out of that one.
Gray doing a fine job using the undulation of the map to avoid the baller exploring.
A la mierda.
Here's a look right now. Alliance Rogue with the sizable advantage, but plenty of time left here, Milana. What do you want to see from FT Win if they want to turn the tide?
We definitely need to see them coordinate. We need to coordinate those specials. We need to, like we talked about, the specials coming out together will definitely make that push back much more bearable.
1 minute left. 4-3 on the field. FT Win. They're trying to go ahead and mount a push here. Alliance Rogue has been very strong. Kibber trying to avoid some trouble. But no, we've got 4-2 here, 9.
I think that Ice's Stingray actually took 2 people out. And if you wondered why they were sitting back so far, it's because they wanted to have 2 specials up going into that last minute. As we see some bumper ballers being played here. And I love the fact that Kyo has already moved up to try to help it. They have them pushed back, but they can't go down with 30 seconds left.
Baller on baller crime right there. Kibber trying to back up. We've got 25 seconds left in Milana. This is when FT Win has got the special advantage. You got to deploy it.
Definitely. You want to see that push. They may be waiting until the very last second so that the enemy team can't cover their turf, but we'll see how this goes.
Ya valieron verga.
The tide is turning.
FT Win with a bit of an advantage. Can they hold on? Big time splat by 2D at the bottom of your screen. Gray trying to get behind the defenses. Let's see if Gray was able to do enough work right there, 9, and slip.
Valieron verga. Estados Unidos valió verga, ¿no?
See some blots of pink. That might be it. Let's see what our friendly felines say.
Ganó Europa, ¿no?
FT Win with the first victory.
Wait. Ah, no, ganaron los americanos. ¿Qué pedo, man?
Like they were down early on, able to turn things around and get the victory, 9.
There is no element more important than composure. And again, them are identifying that with a minute left, let's go ahead and send a couple of them back. Let's start to
La están cagando, man. No mames.
That's a term that we're going to be saying as well. When you get 2 people coming out at a time, it means they can't coordinate, and that means you have a much easier time slowing them down.
And that's such a good point. And let's build on that, Milana, because a lot of times when you are in a disadvantaged state and you're getting sent back to spawn, you can't just send squids and octolings out there as fast as you can. You've got to be coordinated.
Definitely, like we said, exponentiated pushes, or we want to push together as a team. Now, FT Win is it's a team that has always kept their cool. We saw in the NA Inkling finals.
Yes.
NA Inkling Open finals 2019.
Hey, Mo, ¿qué haces acá? Tú
We saw
también.
that they
Todos
really
han venido a saludar
kept
hoy
their
día.
cool, even though Loki was taking matches off of them, and they didn't let that bother them. And I think that came through in this turf war match.
As we get set for our next matchup in the ink pools here, Australia, New Zealand, Lime Soda, they won the coin toss, and they're going to go with Anchovy Games for our next stage here. What do you like about this throwback here, Nah?
It is a throwback, and the thing that everyone will know about this map is you have the fans that raise 2 of the platforms that allows you to not only defend your side, but go up and attack the other side too. So I think in choosing that, they're saying, all right, we can trade with the best of them here. We're going to give ourselves the opportunity to push way deep into the opponent's side.
They did go toe-to-toe with the GG boys, so you have to feel that confidence that they brought into this one here, Milana, isn't wavered even though they dropped their first game.
And like we said before, it's that momentum that they might take. So even though they lost, they had that confidence building up throughout that match.
Le sacaron un emoticón de la moca también, así.
What we're seeing
Yo
here
soy
once
guapo.
again, 9, is what we talked about before. You got to try and stay alive in the final 30 seconds
Y tú eres
because we're
negra.
seeing those last-minute 2-1s, 3 versus 2s that really are able to claim victory for the team that's in the advantage state.
Right, and those last 10 seconds sometimes feel a lot longer than 10 seconds, and a lot can change there, especially when you have the bomb rush special. We've seen teams bring that out. We didn't talk about it a lot, but you throw those out, the suction bomb rush especially, you can take an entire area of a map in just a few presses of the button.
Yeah, it's very powerful, especially at the end.
¿Qué pasó?
Thank you all for watching EA Play 2019. We hope you enjoyed all these exciting reveals. Skate 4, I'm sorry, we just ran out of time. I'm Greg Miller, and I'd say I had a lot of fun hosting this show, but that, of course, would have been a lie. This has been the worst. I've been yards from all these great games. Haven't been able to go play any of them. Now's my time. If you're in Los Angeles, come out and see everything we've got for you in person. If you're not in Los Angeles, or you're just
Mira
lazy,
otro mongol, mira,
like
haciendo
me,
Fortnite.
don't
Ay,
worry,
qué
because
pendejo.
these games will be in your hand before you know it. This has been EA Play 2019. I'm done? I can go play now? All right, great. Let's get going. Where's my Sherpa? Where's Snowbike Mike? Snowbike Mike, come on. What are we going to see? What do we got to see? What do we got to see? Yeah? Okay. All right.
No real new games.
Go ahead and put a quarter in the machine here and get ready. Anchovy Games, we've got Lime Soda taking on Alliance Rogue right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the loadouts. What do you see here?
Well, looking at it, both sides have opted to bring a bucket. Both Will and Urza are going to be playing that Slosher Deco. I didn't even get the chance to talk about the Sprinkler. That thing has been buffed recently. It will take a lot of area, and the Slosher Deco, one of the most common picks in the game.
And 9 pointed out earlier, Milana, those fans that raise the platform are going to play a pivotal part in this map.
Definitely. It gives that easy entry into the enemy side of the map, but it also, you have to keep it up. You have to keep shooting at it in order to raise that platform. So potentially that could be an area of a problem area as well.
Soren using the Explosher to apply a little bit of pressure. Urza bringing a bucket to the match as well, too. Both buckets going at it, but the baller by Urza unable to get a splat. Soren going to go ahead and hop in the baller as well, too. And early on, neither team getting that player advantage on the map here, Nine.
Well, they've both been very cautious, and one of the reasons that it's so important to control those fans is because, as you can see, there aren't really other ways to attack the opponent. It's just going to be a battle for the middle until one side pushes up. They've both been deliberate about getting there and nice and slow, but you see Alliance Rogue starting to get up there.
Kiver with the suction bomb rush right now, and you see Yoshiko at the top of your screen doing a fine job, Milana, of being that backliner and staying on the higher elevation to apply pressure.
The thing about the ballpoint is that even though it is a backline weapon, you have a lot of mobility. So it can act as a frontline weapon. You can really hold your own. So her positioning is a little bit less important, but she's doing a really good job either way.
A couple of burst bombs coming up here. Geo undeterred by that. Let's take a look at Gray with that mini splatling, raising the platform, trying to stay higher. Nice little use right there. Oh, here comes some Tenta missiles. Let's see him scatter here, Nine.
Scatter is the right way to put it. Geo doing a good job not retreating so far back that he gives up the fan. You see moving right back up there. He knows that his job is to continue painting here and not allow that pivotal spot to be taken.
Alliance Rogue has got a special ready to go. Soren just trying to determine when he's going to use that baller at this point. 1 minute left, though. DJ playing that remix, and things are going to get hot and heated here in a second. Will trying to bring a bucket into the back line. No luck there, going one-on-one at this point. Baller ready to go. And we've got baller on baller cry once again. Oh, but Urza able to be a little bit more patient, and that is the crack in the wall that you're looking for if you're Alliance Rogue.
It is. They moved right up there. You see they didn't waste any time, and all of the members of Australia are stuck back here. They're going to have to move around. You see this bomb rush that Geo's using isn't going to be able to find that all-important middle of the map. They're having to use their specials just to get there.
3-2 on the map and a special ready to go for Alliance Rogue. They're looking to try and push this thing and claim a victory at this point. Both teams looking for their first victory in Cool. Soren being retreated right now. It's going to require quite the push by Lime Soda. 12 seconds left. Geo trying to avoid a couple of shots from that Exploster, able to stay alive. 5 seconds left. 2-1 on the map for Lime Soda. They are down, but let's see what the final count is. And this
game over
in the favor of Alliance Rogue. I think once again, Milana, they had the advantage towards that final minute of this match.
I think that Lime Soda maybe played a little bit too aggressively in this map. They, I saw a few 3v1 situations that maybe wasn't what they had hoped would be the outcome. So I think using that aggression, toning it back just a little bit, and I think at the very end,
bueno,
Alliance Rogue kind of pulled back a little bit. They pulled back to mid,
Creo
so that
que eso
they
fue
knew
todo,
they had
¿verdad?
that turf readily covered and readily available.
Eso fue
so
todo.
true, Nine. It seemed like those
Nos
platforms
despedimos
with
con una
fans
partida
played
de
such a big role in
Splatoon.
this map, and then also the time